Hello children, today we are going to start our first chapter in computer. Our first chapter in computer is about introduction to computers. So this chapter we will study about computer, what is a computer, and computer as an evolving device, and characteristics of computers, limitations of a computer, and we can understand the difference between computer and calculator and difference between computer and human beings. Okay children, so let's start our class. So first of all, we have to know what is a computer. Computer is an electronic machine which can be used to process data. Okay. Computer is an electronic machine that can be used to process data. So it is an electronic device which is capable of receiving information in a particular form, and it will perform certain operations in accordance with the instructions or program to produce a result in the form of information or signals. Okay, so computer processing data means it will receive the information in particular form, that is in the form of data, and it will perform certain operation on the particular data by using instruction or program and produce a result in the form of information or signals. Okay, so computer means what? It is a electronic machine. It is an electronic machine which can be used to process data. Nowadays, computer being used in the most complex and difficult task undertaken by humans. Okay, so now computer has been used in different purpose. It has been used in the difficult task which is undertaken by humans. The origin of the word computer is from the word compute. Okay, so the word computer originated from the word compute, which means doing calculations. So computer have evolved into far more multi-purpose device. Okay, so it can do many things. So it is used for multi-purpose device. It is used as an multi-purpose devices. Multi-purpose devices means it can be used for many purposes. Okay, and most of today's electronic equipments or some or other forms of a computer. Okay, so some of the most common forms of computer are shown below. So you can see in the picture. So this is one forms of computer which is known as desktop. Here you can see laptop. Okay, so these electronic equipments or some or other form of computer. Okay, so the most common forms of computer are laptop, desktop, and tablet, iPod, smartphone, and GPS system. Okay, so these are different forms of computer. Now we can see about components of computer. So what are the parts present in the computer? Okay, so the computer components can be divided into three parts. They are input devices, output devices, system unit. Okay, so input devices, output devices, system unit. Okay, so what is mean by input devices? Some of the input devices are mouse, keyboard, microphone, digital camera. Okay, so mouse, keyboard, microphone, digital camera are example for the input devices present in computer. Then what are the output device present in computer? Monitor, speakers, printer. Okay, so these we can see from the external, so they are external part of computer which is called as output devices. Okay, and system unit which contains memory and processor, which is also known as central processing unit, which is called as CPU. Okay, now here you can see the picture of computer. So I have told that speaker, then flat panel display or monitor, it is an output device. Then here you can see the input device, keyboard. So this is the keyboard which is called as input device, and here mouse is an input device, and here you can see the system unit. This system unit is also called as CPU or central processing unit, which will control all the process which is given in the computer. Okay, so computer, what are the components present in the computer, children? Output device such as monitor, speaker, and keyboard device, input device such as keyboard, mouse, and there is a system unit called CPU. To understand a computer better, let's first see how it actually functions. Okay, so computer is actually a data processing device. Okay, so what is computer? It is an electronic machine, but it is a data processing device. Why computer is called as data processing device? Because it takes input from a user. Okay, so computer will take input from a user and they will produce the result as output after performing some actions on the data. Okay, so computer is a data processing device that takes input from a user and it will produce some results as output by performing some actions on data. So it is called as data processing device. Okay, so computer is a data processing device because it will take input from a user and it will produce certain result as output after performing some actions on the data. Okay, so let's see briefly about the data processing in the computer. So what is meant by input, children? So I have told that computer will take input and it will do some actions on the data and then it will give one output. Yes. So what is meant by input? Input is the data which goes into the computer or the data which is given by the user into a computer is called as input. Okay. So a computer is an electronic machine. It cannot work as it is. Okay, so it can be used by the user. So the data which should be given by the user. So the data which is given by the user into a computer is called as input. And then once we have given or once we have given the input or once the input is given by the user, what computer will do? Computer will perform some actions or some operations on the data which is called as processing. Okay, so the data which is given by the user into a computer is called input, and the computer, once it receives the input, it will perform certain actions on the data, which is called as processing. Okay, so what is meant by processing? Computer will perform the actions on the data given by the user is called processing. Now, what is meant by output? The information that comes, or the result that comes after processing of the input data. Okay, so processing means, once the input is received by the user, the computer will perform certain operations or actions, which is called processing. After processing of the input data, it will comes as a output. So output is a result which is given by the computer after processing the data. So here you can see the example. One flowchart is given in your book. So here example is input. So we are giving that we have to add 2 plus 3. So 2 plus 3 is given by us as input. Okay, so 2 plus 3 is given by us input to the computer. So by the user, this is given to the computer. Okay, so now what will happen? Once the computer receives this input, it undergo certain operations. Okay, so it will add itself. Okay, and then it will give output as 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Okay, so this is an example how the computer will work. So this input is given by the user, that is we should add certain numbers, and we are giving this to computer, and computer undergoes certain processing or certain operation. So computer can do addition, yes, so it can do addition and it will give the result. So what is the result of that addition? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So 5 is the output which is given by the computer to the user. Understood, children? Now, input. The data. What is meant by input? Input means the data and instruction that are provided to a computer. Okay, so the information or the data and instruction that are provided to a computer is called input. So input to a computer consists of two components. What are they? Data and instruction. Okay, so data or instruction can be provided to the computer by the user is called input. So what is meant by data? Data is the raw material or the material which computer uses to perform task. Okay, so data is the raw material which computer will use to perform certain action. Task means actions. Okay, so data is the raw material which is given by the user to the computer, which computer will use to perform certain actions. Then once the computer receives the data from the user, the computer will transform the input data into the desired form of output. Okay, so computer will transform the input data into the desired form of output. So data can be in the form of numbers. So I have given the examples already. So data can be given in the form of numbers. So we can add, or it can be given in the form of letters or alphabets. Then it can be given in the form of symbols or pictures or audio or video. Okay, so this data will be given by the user. Okay, so now you understood what is meant by data. So data can be given in the form of numbers or alphabets or symbols, pictures, audio or video to the computer by the user. Okay, then after receiving the data, computer will use the data and perform certain actions, and the computer will transform the input data into the output, desired form of output. Now, what is meant by instruction? Instruction means it is the set of orders which is specifying what is to be done with the data. So, once the computer receives the data, it will undergo certain action. Yes. So, actions that certain actions will be done by the set of orders. So set of orders will be undergone by the computer during processing. Okay, so it is the instruction means it is the set of orders which specifies what is to be done with the data in order to produce the desired output. Okay, so once the input or once the data is received by the user, the computer will undergo certain instruction. That means set of orders will be given to the computer what is to be done with the particular data. Okay, so using the set of orders or set of commands which is given, the computer will do the action and it will produce the desired output. Now, data processing. It involves several computer instructions. So now you know what is meant by instruction. Yes, instruction means set of orders. So which contains details on the operation. So how the computer have to work. Okay, how the computer have to perform the operation, that is called the computer instruction. Okay, so data processing. During data processing, the computer contains several instructions which will give the details on the operations that the computer need to perform. So according to the instruction given in the operation, the computer have to perform. So a set of computer instructions is also known as computer program or a program. Okay, so a set of computer instruction which is given in the computer, which is called as computer program. Already it will be in the computer. Okay, so that is a set of instruction to do operation on the particular task is called as computer program or a program. Okay, now output. Okay, so after what data processing, the computer will give a certain result which is called as output. So the result or the information provided by a computer after processing data is called output. Okay, so the result or the information provided by a computer after processing data is called input. Okay, so I hope you have understood computer as an electronic machine and as a data processing device in this video. And this video we can see about the characteristics of computer and limitations of computer. Thank you, children.